Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
Happy Sukkot. Happy Simchat Torah. Happy family service. Happy back to school meeting. Happy consecration. Happy new member Sabbath. Did I get all that in there? It's an extra special Shabbat this evening. We're glad to see everybody in the sanctuary, and as always, we're glad to greet our viewers tuning in from home. For our Shabbat and holiday service, we usually start with Hine Matov, how good it is for us to be together.
Hine שבטחים
גם
גם
יחד.
שבטחים גם יחד. שבטחים גם יחד.
הנה מה טוב מה נעים, שבטחים גם יחד.
הנה מה טוב מה נעים, שבטחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב מה נעים,
שבטחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב מה נעים, שבטחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. יאללה לה יאללה לה 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 לה.
הנה מה טוב,
הנה מה טוב. יאללה יאללה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב מה נעים, שבטחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב מה נעים,
שבטחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב מה נעים, שבטחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב מה נעים, שבטחים גם יחד. How good it is,
How good it is,
how sweet it is,
how sweet it is.
be together on this day. How good it is,
How good it is,
how sweet it is,
how sweet it is.
be together on this day. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבטחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבטחים גם יחד.
The Sabbath and the holiday of Sukkot make us think about nature and our appreciation of nature when we're in the Sukkah. You'll have that opportunity after the service. We obviously look up, we can see the sky, we see the leafy boughs, and we see the grass underneath. And so there's an appreciation of nature and the Sabbath on page 9. Let's just read this responsively. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain.
On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share.
There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted.
On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation.
There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others.
On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world our goal.
So we embrace Shabbat, the day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. For our call to worship, the Baruch Hu, page 28, please rise. Let's remain standing and recite the Shema together, page 34.
Yes.
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam. Please be seated as we continue with the V'ahavta on the next page. Elohecha bechol lavavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al lavecha v'shnanta mivanecha v'dibarcha na'am v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'b'lektecha b'derech u'b'shokvecha u'b'chumecha u'kshaltam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotachot b'einecha u'kshaltam al mezuzot beitecha u'b'isharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. I really like the reading before the next prayer that you can find on the top of page 39. And it's not very long. Let's read it together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. And when our ancestors joined hands and marched to freedom together, they sang the words of thanks, Mi Chamocha. We still do, page 40.
Say
Now you see the prayer on page 42, the Hashkivenu prayer. The third line has a beautiful sentiment. Ufros aleinu sukkah shalom. Spread over us, the prayer says, the sukkah of peace, the canopy of peace over all the world. So once a year, on this Sabbath during Sukkot, some of the older students may remember that we sing this Hashkivenu prayer in a very different form. Cantor's never heard it before because I asked him. And this is a song where you help me by thinking about, and then when I point to you, call on you, naming a place in the world that needs shalom, that needs peace. The chorus of the song is very simple. It's those 4 words. Ufros aleinu leinu sukkah shalom. 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 Here in Leonia and there in whatever place where needs peace, and raise your hand and I'll call on you. Ukraine, spread over us the canopy of peace. Here in Bergen County and there in Iran? Definitely. Spread over us the canopy of peace. Together. Ufros aleinu leinu sukkah shalom. 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 Here in New Jersey and there in Israel. Spread over us the canopy of peace. Here at Exit 4 on the New Jersey Turnpike. And there in Raleigh, North Carolina. Spread over us the canopy of peace. Ufros aleinu leinu sukkah shalom. 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 All those places certainly need shalom, certainly need peace, and so many more. Our prayer is that that giant sukkah of shalom will bring peace where there is not. Our next prayer, V'shamru, on page 44, speaks about how the people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time.
Adonai et Hashemayim
Shabbat Hayinash V'Sham Yisrael Et HaShabbat L'asot Et HaShabbat V'Dorotam B'Olam V'Shamra B'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat L'asot Et HaShabbat V'Dorotam
Two things before we continue with the Amidah. I meant to say exit 73A on the New Jersey Turnpike. I used to live off of exit 4 and I still use it to commute to Philadelphia. So that was just a brain freeze, as they call it. Exit 73A or B, depending on whether you're going to Leonia or Teaneck. The other thing is, as we reach the Amidah, I know that this is the time of the year when we shift in that one line from praying for dew to rain, because in Israel it does not rain all summer long, and the rains start about now. So I'm going to ask the Cantor, do we switch now or the next time we say the Amidah?
We switched day one of Sukkot.
Day one of Sukkot. It's a bit of a trick question because it depends on your custom. Some people switch at the beginning of the holiday of Sukkot, others at the end of the holiday of Sukkot. But you'll see what we mean when we start praying for Geshem, rain, instead of Tal, which we've been praying for all summer. That's in the Amidah, and that starts on page 46. Please rise. Please be seated. Let's read together on the top of page 59 this prayer which gives thanks for the world around us and the world within us. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we give thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. And the Amidah concludes with a beautiful prayer of peace, the Shalom Rav prayer on page 60. Now at the end of the Amidah, our thoughts turn to those of our loved ones in need of healing, be this a healing of body or a healing of soul. We especially think in our congregational family this evening of yet 2 more people who have come down with COVID in the last week and a half, Pearl and Ron Waxman. For them and for all those people that we know and don't know in need of healing, we join with the Cantor in our healing prayer, Mishaberach. Because we have a number of special elements coming up a little bit later, including, of course, reading of the Torah for the holiday, right now we're going to jump to the Aleinu and the Kaddish prayer. And so as we open the Ark and you see all the Torah still dressed in white, the bottom of page 282, please rise for the Aleinu.
לשמח לאדון הכל, לתת גאולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. אנחנו קוראים ומשתקפים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר ארץ, ומושן יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום אל התיבותא אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחתנו, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
As we remain standing, our thoughts turn to those of our loved ones no longer with us. On this Shabbat, we think of the Yortzeit, the anniversary of the passing, in love and remembrance of Louis Katz, father of Hilda Salworth and grandfather of Kim Merlino, Helene Corin, cousin of Doris White, Philip Davis, father of Beth Ziff, Hal Hellman, father of Jill Hellman, Helen Schwartz, mother-in-law of Barbara Schwartz, my grandmother. For all those close to our hearts, and for all those for whom there may be no one to say Kaddish, we join in the Kaddish prayer on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadosh shemei Rabbi, be'alma divrach chirutei, be'amlich malchutei, b'hayechon uvyomechon, uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach leolam olamei almaya. Yitbarak v'yishtabak, yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitale v'yital shmei d'kudisha b'richu. Na'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama Rabba min shamayim, v'hayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. The holiday of Simchat Torah is the holiday that celebrates the annual reading of the Torah, the end of the Torah and the beginning of the Torah, because our reading and our studying and our attachment to Torah never ends. That's exactly what we'll be doing in a few minutes. We'll be chanting the last verses of the Torah from the book of Deuteronomy, the first verses from the book of Genesis. It's a very symbolic way of expressing our attachment to Torah. And so over the decades, it's also been customary for having a short ceremony of consecration, of welcoming our new students in our religious school, because what better time to do that when we're honoring the Torah and the reading of the Torah as well. And so I'm really delighted. We had to kind of pause this during the pandemic when we were not able to be here in person. But as I call up these new students this year to our school, if they would just come forward and stand at the foot of the bima. This is just in an order I was given, no particular order, but we'd like to ask Rin Sperber to come forward here, and Jack Sperber, and Abby Marks, realizing that Amelia will be a new student in a couple of years. I'd like to recognize Isaac Melman, although he could not be here this evening. And how about Jake Herzik and Nathan? Are there other new students this year that I did not call? This is complete. I'd like to offer this prayer over our new students. Eternal God, bless these children now and always. May the words of Torah always be sweet to them, and the life of Torah bring light to their eyes and joy to their hearts. This day we consecrate them to the study of your Torah, your teaching. As they grow in learning, may they grow in wisdom, bringing honor to themselves, their families, this congregation, and the whole house of Israel. Together we say, Amen. Now stay right there, new students, because I'm going to ask our new member families during this past year plus to join you, but since we'll continue to be spread out, I'd like to ask you to just stand in your place as we call forward your names. So Stephen Sperber, and I see Jonathan Marks, and I see Rochelle, and I see Myrna and Bob. I want to acknowledge Vera Kuzanivsky and Peter Buxbaum as well. And we're including new families, and I was told newish families from the year before, including some returning members. So I'm also going to ask Barbara Schwartz, that would be my mom, to stand. She's also a new member from last year. And Hannah Benish. And I want to acknowledge Dara Falco and Eileen Singh and Mariah Weissman and even Kate Schooler from Seattle, if you're watching. And are there other new members to be included from this year or the year past? Or are we complete? Well, I have a special prayer to add for our new members of Welcome. May the one who blessed our ancestors and the generations before us who built and sustained Adas Emuno, this congregation of the faithful, bless our new families. Bruchim habayim. Blessed are you who come to this holy congregation seeking connection and community. May you draw inspiration and strength from the heritage of our people and the example of your fellow members. May your experience here enable you to joyfully affirm, Ashrenu umatov chelkenu, happy are we, and how good is our portion, how pleasant our lot, how beautiful our heritage. And so now, new students and new family members, I'm going to ask you to respond to our ancient call of commitment by saying the word Hineni, which means here I am, signifying your presence as new members of Congregation Adas Emuno. Ready? Now. Amen. Beautiful. Welcome. Let's sing a Shehechianu, the prayer of thanks for our new students and our new members. Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Thank you. Please be seated. And now let me explain how we observe the commandment to finish the Torah and begin the Torah. In a moment, we'll have the Hakafah, we'll have the procession. We're still kind of modifying it so you can reach out like this to kiss the Torah. And we're going to have the Cantor chant from the two aliyot, the last paragraph, essentially, of the book of Deuteronomy about the death of Moses and the continuation of the people of Israel. And then we're going to switch Torah scrolls, and we're going to read from Bereshit, from in the beginning. When I say we, each of our grades has hopefully mastered one verse from the beginning of the Torah. So I'll be calling the different grades to each chant one verse from the foot of the bimah. But it's customary for this holiday for every single person to receive an aliyah to the Torah in the synagogue. And how are we going to accomplish that? No problem. The ingenious method that we have here involves only one thing: you knowing when your birthday is, according to the civil date, not the Hebrew date. So we'll be doing it in categories of 3, calling 4 months at a time. You'll be standing in your place and reciting the Torah blessing, and therefore you will observe the commandment of being called to the Torah on this holiday. The scroll that we use for the Hakafah, that's a third scroll, smaller one. As I mention at every service, including our bat mitzvah services, that's our Holocaust scroll. That's the scroll that was saved from a small community in Czechoslovakia. The community did not survive. The Torah scroll did. It was brought to London with many others and then distributed these scrolls to congregations around the world. So even though we don't read from that scroll anymore, it's not in the best condition, we always parade with that scroll as well. We will get ready for the reading of the Torah by singing one of our favorite Torah songs, Tree of Life. Please rise. With the Cantor as he helps me.
It is a tree of life to them who are fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them who are fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Shalom, 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 shalom. Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Please be seated. You might be able to see that the Torah, this big one, is rolled all the way to the very, very end. Ya'amod harishon. We call forward from your seats, rising in your seats, that is, all those born in the months of January, February, March, April. And if you'd like to find the Torah blessing in your prayer book, it's on page 250. You might know it by heart as well. Let's hope that next year we can return to having people piling up to the bima as we have in the past. Ready? I'll find it for you. 120 Shana.
Moshe.
Yeah. Baruch hu et Adonai
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch atah rak leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Umoshe ben me'av esrim shana b'moto lo chataino v'lo naslecho. Vayivku b'nei Yisrael et Moshe barvot Moav 30 yom vayitemu yemei v'chi evel Moshe ביהושע בן נון, מלא רוח חוכמה, כי שמח משה את ידו עליו. וישמעו אליו בני ישראל ויעשו כאשר ציווה אדוני את משה.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chaye olam nata b'tokenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Beautiful aliyah. You may be seated. Ya'amod Hasheni. We call forward for the second aliyah everybody born in the months of May, June, July, August. Please rise. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. ולא קם נביא עוד בישראל כמשה, אשר ידו אדוני פנים אל פנים, לכל האותות והמופתים, אשר שלחו אדוני לעשות בארץ מצרים, לפרעה ולכל עבדיו ולכל ארצו. ולכל היד החזקה ולכל המורה הגדול אשר עשה משה לעיני כל ישראל.
חזק
חזק ונתחזק.
ברוך אתה אדוני Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chaye olam nata b'tokenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
And now as we do a little switcheroo of the Torahs, we ask everyone to please rise. Vezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael Adonai b'yad Moshe. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, hine ma tov. Yadadai, 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 hine ma tov, hine ma tov. Yadadai, 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 hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Please be seated. This Torah scroll is rolled all the way to the beginning because it's Bereshit in the beginning and the description of each of the different eras of creation. And so I'd like to call forward to take their place as our chanting corps of readers for Bereshit, the K1 class, or K through 2, chanting verse 1 over here. And then the next group, chanting verse 2, because it's a little bit harder. It's the hardest of the introductory verses, grade 7. And then verse 3, that would be grades 3, 4. And then fourth verse by grades 5. So come forward and take your spot all the way across. Once again, K2 over here. And then grades 3, 4 over here. Oh, excuse me, grade 7 over here. And then grades 3, 4, and then grade 5. Look at this. Where is our yad? Our yad. So, have I left anybody out for Torah blessings? Yes, I have. Ya'amod Hashlishi. We call forward for the third aliyah to the Torah. Anybody born in September, October, November, December, please stand. Ooh, the later months not as many. It was usually it's like equally divided. Not this year. We'll manage though. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim.
ונתן לנו את תורתו, ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה. Bereshit bara. Et haaretz. Solid. Vayar Elohim et haor kito. Vayavdel Elohim ben haor uben hahoshet. Great.
Verse 5, Cantor.
ויקרא אלוהים לאור יום ולחושך קר הלילה, וירא ויבוקר יום אחד.
Very good, Cantor.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
Second blessing.
Adonai.
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet,
וחיי עולם אתה בתוכנו, ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
As we hold the Torah up high now, you can return to your seats, but everybody please rise. וזאת התורה
אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני
ביד משה.
על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד.
Please be seated. I hope you were glad to receive the Aliyah to the Torah. After our closing, I want to mention that the Sukkah will be available. A matter of fact, if you want something to eat or drink, it's all going to be in the Sukkah. Take a look around. It's still kind of drying out from last night, but then you may take your food and drink to the new patio. We have a light out there and enjoy it. There's seats, or if you want, you can eat inside in the social hall downstairs. Before the end of the service, we'll say the blessings, and then you have one of three ways of getting there. Out the front door, turn left, go downstairs through the social hall. But a lot of people don't know that this door leads to a stairway to heaven. A stairway down and a shortcut to the Sukkah. There's a light that clicks on, but just be careful if you're going down those steps as well. Before the closing songs and closing blessings, I invite up to say a few words of greetings and announcements our dutiful president, Michael Fishman.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
Thank you, Rabbi. I think I mentioned before that in the years ago, if my memory serves me correctly, we had 2 Torahs out. And when you finished Deuteronomy, without taking another breath, I don't know if you've heard of this, without taking another breath, you began Genesis.
Oh, I can't breathe that long.
No, you had 2 out, and you could move. You have to be.
We could try.
Yeah. Thank you, student Cantor Joe Flaxman, for your wonderful chanting of Torah. I think you'll get an A in trope. And I have to say, the joy you bring to our services is very infectious. Thank you for that. The holiday of Sukkot continues until Monday. Consider eating a meal in our sukkah, which is located alongside the temple. You'll see it out there. Our expert sukkah builders included Debbie Schwartz, Rabbi Schwartz, Lauren Rowland, Aaron Fisher, and Alec Melman. Anybody else? I think that's it. That was it. I think they assembled the sukkah this year in record time and are now fully prepared to wander the desert for 40 years with their portable shelter. Torah study resumes tomorrow morning in person at 10 a.m. Anyone may attend, and you can follow the discussion even if you have not previously attended our long-running and popular Torah study sessions. Religious school and confirmation class meet Sunday. The Poetry Garden meets Sunday night at 7 p.m. I assume it's in person. Next week's closing celebrations of our 150th anniversary begin with a special Shabbat service, a big Sunday concert, and our gala. A family fun event begins after religious school next Sunday. In between, on Saturday at 10 a.m., we observe the bar mitzvah of Nick Guberman. Please RSVP promptly if you are coming to the gala. Use the email address that was provided in your invitation to the gala. The gala committee has advised me that we can expect an excellent turnout to this historic event. Work is completed on our patio paver. Our first use of the patio was during our Sukkot celebration that included a wonderful sing-along led by student Cantor Flaxman, accompanied by Peter Hayes on guitar. As the rabbi said, tonight's oneg will be held in our sukkah, and the decorations found in the sukkah were made by our religious school students. Shabbat Shalom, Chag Sameach.
I want to second that. The opening Sukkot event, which many of you attended with Cantor, Joe, and with Peter, was just wonderful. Want to thank them for quite the celebration. And they are going downstairs already to set up, but I wanted to recognize Annette DeMarco, who's our acting director and doing a wonderful job with the school. Doris and some helpers set up the oneg. And it's a real deal oneg tonight. I'm talking cupcakes, cookies, challah, apple cider. So it's not one of these modest onegs. It's the real deal. It'll be worth it as well. So we're going to sing a closing song or two, and then say the blessings right over there. So there's a holiday song, Sisu V'Simchu, B'Simchat Torah.
Page 359, in the middle, the second one.
B'Simchat Torah, Utnu Chavod LaTorah. Sisu V'Simchu, B'Simchat Torah, Utnu Chavod LaTorah. Sisu V'Simchu, B'Simchat Torah, Utnu Chavod LaTorah. Sisu V'Simchu, B'Simchat Torah, Utnu Chavod LaTorah.
Sisu v'simcho, sisu v'simcho, sisu v'simcho, v'simchat Torah. Sisu v'simcho, sisu v'simcho, sisu v'simcho, v'simchat Torah. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael,
Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Ol Avinu Chai, Ol Avinu Chai, Ol Avinu, Ol Avinu, Ol Avinu Chai, Ol Avinu Chai, Ol Avinu Chai, Ol Avinu, Ol Avinu, Ol Avinu Chai.
Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai,
please rise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho avahu v'ratzo Hinchelanu zikaron le'aseh v'reishi ki hu yom techila le'mikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu Kidashta mikol hamim v'shavat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon yidchalkanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Shabbat.
Amen.
Baruch atah
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
For those going into the Sukkah for the first time, the blessing ends with a shave of the Sukkah. Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav
v'tzivanu le'shev b'sukkah. And if you would like to shake the lulav and etrog for the first time, or the only time during Sukkot, I'll be bringing it down to the Sukkah as well. We say, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al netilat lulav. Shabbat shalom, Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.